So I know that I posted a video saying here's a walkthrough of the car before we hit the dyno, but right here what you see is I'm doing some prep work so I can make it to the dyno and everything go well. So I'm testing out a new fan. We'll go through that. I got a lot of work to do under this car to make this fan fit. It's a totally different style fan. Gonna have to figure it out, but this fan's crazy. We're gonna test that here in just a minute. But anyway, just doing some prep work here. I got to put the fan on. I got to change the oil, and I resealed the valve cover because I was getting a little bit of a leak, and you could kind of see it in my one video. I resealed the valve cover. I was having a leak in this front left corner here. Changed out the top hats for the secondary injectors, and go figure, one of the new ones I just put in is leaking. So got to fix that again. Like I said, I'm going to raise the coolant level up just a tad, and then it's dyno time, baby. So let's get into it. Since we're on the subject, I know that I haven't shown you guys my rear mount radiator and water pump setup, so we'll go in here. Notice there's no radiator up front. This is a big ass oil cooler, which I'm gonna have to put in an oil thermostat, an inline thermostat, so that way it'll allow the oil to actually heat up. But right now I've got it probably 90% blocked in the front with a piece of masonite, you know, like not cardboard but masonite, and it'll actually allow it to get the temperature eventually. But anyway, so you know that it's no radiator up front. That's the reason for all this cylindrical stuff going on here. Swirl pot, it's got a bleeder up here from the top going over and boom into the expansion tank. The expansion tank, I have the level about halfway right now. I'm gonna bring it up slightly. This thing's never had a drop go in it, so you know, this is the Track Tough just overflow, and it's never had a drop go in it. But anyway, to the back here, as you can see, I'm making huge messes around here. Got it, my light, yeah. All right. So above my R400 exhaust mufflers here, I've got a Davies Craig EWP 150, the black edition from, I believe it was Motion Raceworks. And you can see I've got all these silicone 1-inch hoses going around. But here is the radiator. You can see big ass hole because new fan's going in. You can see it's a dual pass. I made this myself. Be easy on me in the comments here because I welded this myself, and I'm no professional, as you can see here and here and here. And oof, that got close. But I welded all of this together, so I dual passed it so that way the fan could do maximum work back here. This is from the engine, this is to the engine, so it comes out of here into the inlet of the water pump, out of the water pump, over the rear subframe, through some lines that I welded together that are under the car, to the front of the motor, goes all through that swirl pot, comes back into here, boom, right here. Goes through, dual passes. Now this here is a bleeder bleeder line, because that corner, and you're seeing my hackery now. That guy there, yeah, it wouldn't stop leaking, so it got, anyway, like I was saying, some hackery going on over there, but you know, take it easy. So anyway, that goes all the way to the front to the expansion tank, and then the bottom of the expansion tank comes to right here. So that way it's constantly in the loop of the system to the intake of the pump here. And then I have, let's see, I've got it wired up going into the back to some Kaizen relays. That's pretty much it back here. So yeah, just that -6 line or so, I think, going all the way to the front. But anyway, pretty slick little setup, and it fits perfectly here. I wanted to go with a Q300 exhaust to quiet it down some, but the muffler won't fit, so here we are. We're gonna have to just live with this. But yeah, here's my rear mount setup on the K-Swap STI. My guess is this is inverse or something, because at 10% she's on kill mode. So like I said, it's on a DPO. It's on DPO 3. And right now it's only got 10 volts going to it right now. This thing is freaking moving some air. Like I wish I really had something to just demonstrate this shit. I mean, this is stupid of me to think. But, I mean, where's the classic paper test? I mean, this is some flimsy shit here, I don't know. I mean, that's holding it on my hand. And I'm way out here. That's kind of crazy. That's freaking nuts. Anyway. Alright. We got it sorted out here. So, you know, I was saying how it was inverse. Well, right here is what dictates that. So active state, I had it on low, so it was freaking working its ass off at 15%. Now at 15% you can see it there. Now let's do a jump to 30%. It's kicking up. We'll go to 50%. This fan is freaking nuts. And shout out to Haltech with the freaking Wi-Fi freaking connection. This is awesome. You can be back here doing stuff. Alright, 50%. This is nuts. This is an insane fan. Okay. Alright, so at 50%, like I said, I'm to the side of the fan now. It could be blowing off of this piece of wood here, but this is just kind of nuts that it's holding it on my hand out to here, you know. And let's see, go to 75%. You can hear it really ramp up, like insane. This fan fucks, dude. Shit is fucking wild to me. Like I can feel it out here. Well, I mean, it's blowing on the ground. Anyway, I'm thoroughly impressed with this. Let's see, 85%. Can you hear it ramp? Not really. Will it run at 100? No, it will not run at 100. Will it run at 90? This is a good test because if you were to throw it in the car, it will run at 90. If you were to throw it in the car and just assume your table was good to go, that way, hey, when you hit the fan, it's going to be on full fucking tilt, 100%. Wrong. Wrong again, friend. Alright, it will run at 90%. That's crazy. 95? We'll run at 95. Now I want to know if it'll go from 0 to 95. So let's zero it out. Alright, gonna come back for part 2 here. Hold on. Alright, part 2 of this test here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this here to 95. This is my switch, so here, may as well. Go ahead and hit all of these to 95. And what this is when there's an override in the car, so that way, you know, for some reason temps are higher, or I'm sitting in traffic and it's 100 degrees outside, and I'm like, you know what, coolant's kind of starting to rise a little bit, let me just go ahead and hit this thing. What it'll do is it'll override this lower off table here. So I've got it set to 95. Let's go ahead and hit the switch here. Let's see if it'll take off 150 hertz. at 95% duty. And that's exactly why I wanted to do it from a dead stop. I was worried about that. So, just go straight to 90. %. It should kick on no problem. It's going to make me a liar. But it's outputting 95%. Why? Why? I'm confused. 85. Still output 95. I'm confused here. Doesn't like the override switch for some reason. Right, also, you know, I'm still farting around with this thing. I figured out, so earlier in a test, my CAN keypad was not turning on my fan, no matter what percentage I put in here. So, figured out that my old override value was set to 1,000. Now, my old fan also used to work at 100% duty cycle. So, dropped it to 900 to, you know, equal 90%, and let's fire it up. So, right now I've got 90 in all of my on values there. Let's go ahead and hit this button and see. It's off. Alright, here's my fan switch. You can see it's going to kick. So there we go. Now we have the override button for when you're sitting in traffic at 100 degree, you know, outside air temperature and cars kind of warming up. You can power that bad boy up. Very nice. Turn it off, and it'll follow whatever it is on your normal table. So it'll follow your, you know, temperature chart there. Sick. All right. You can see my table here. Fan table. We finally got this thing under the car. It's freaking 10:18 p.m. It is not the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you know, I had to actually destroy the Delta Pag fan, which, whatever, but I had to destroy it so that way, I mean, it needed, you know, one hell of a spacer here, but I really need to make a new shroud, but as you can see, this was kind of welded to it, so, dude, we're just making it work, okay? So anyway, we're going to do a test of it. I've got it kind of hooked up here. This here is the one that's hooked to DPO. So anyway, we're going to give this thing a test now and see what it does when it's actually pulling air through the fan. That's the real test here. Alright, here we go. Start out at 15%, huh? I feel like that's literally what the other fan was doing the whole time. And that's only 15%. We'll double it. 30. Oh, this is going to be crazy. All right, we'll go to 50%. That's fucking nuts. All right, 90%. That's fucking insane. I mean, I really don't know what to give a test as, but That's dumb. I don't I don't know how to test this, but this shit is fucking nuts in comparison to what it was before. Hell yeah. That's freaking full tilt right there. And that's at 10 volts. Right here, you can see 9.8 volts. 90% output, 100 hertz. So, hopefully get a little bit better with 12 volts or more.